İleri, gelişmiş, ilerlemiş.
Advanced. My sister studies an advanced English course at night.
Kız kardeşim geceleyin ileri düzey bir İngilizce kursuna gidiyor.
He uses advanced vocabulary when he speaks to teachers.
Öğretmenlerle konuşurken ileri düzey kelimeler kullanıyor.
The school offers an advanced class for motivated students.
Okul, istekli öğrenciler için ileri düzey bir sınıf sunuyor.
You don't go out and bury the most advanced, self-perpetuating, machine-tooled flying clockwork known to man.
The Wakandans used vibranium to develop technology more advanced than any other nation.
My last class of the day is advanced English, and I'm really excited to finally learn with the smartest kids in the school.
Here are some pre-algebra worksheets, an advanced reading list, and a link to a website I created so we can start studying Mandarin Chinese.
I'd like to remind everybody that unless you've had advanced emergency medical training, you must never attempt this on your own.
I think that he's in the advanced stages of Parkinson's and she's in the middle stages of Alzheimer's.
I mean, you were advanced enough to perform experimental brain surgery on living humans?
But nothing has been advanced to me today on your behalf that will persuade me to take any course.
If I may share a confidence with you, today we put in the most advanced security system known to man.
I'm going to show you a remote we just got in that's probably the most advanced piece of technology we have in this place.
I have advanced alien technology, thousands of years beyond what anyone could throw at me.
I will confess, I have never seen a case as advanced as this in someone so young.
Kavram, fikir.
Concept. The teacher explained the new concept to the whole class.
Öğretmen yeni kavramı tüm sınıfa anlattı.
It is hard to understand the concept without some examples.
Bazı örnekler olmadan bu kavramı anlamak zor.
We discussed the concept and wrote notes during the lesson.
Derste kavramı tartıştık ve notlar aldık.
Any rational or metaphysical or at least epistemological contradiction to an abstract and empirical concept such as being or
too many guys think I'm a concept, or I complete them, or I'm going to make them alive.
Did you know that neither the Greeks nor the Romans were capable of using the concept of zero?
I'll talk to Dennis, and maybe we can come up with a compromise and a new design concept that we can all live with.
The other thing that Rice does here is introduce the concept of old and new working class culture.
I thought we'd get together because there's a legal concept that has been getting some new attention recently.
Right now, it's only a notion, but I think I can get money to make it into a concept, and then later turn it into an idea.
Sick, dying, decaying political concept writhing in its final pain.
Yeah, but
it's like I say, teams are fine for things like action titles, but when it's a concept piece...
I get it's been a while, Hank, but backing a car into a driveway to make getting out easier is a concept.
Dedicated his life to justice, to the concept of justice.
The whole two names concept was totally too much for my flatmate's pea-sized intellect.
So powerful. Even a 4-year-old with no concept of life or death.
I just didn't understand the concept that hours could turn into years down there.
Kesin, belirli.
Definite. I have a definite plan for studying English this month.
Bu ay İngilizce çalışmak için kesin bir planım var.
There is a definite difference between spoken and written English.
Konuşma İngilizcesi ile yazı İngilizcesi arasında kesin bir fark var.
She gave me a definite answer after thinking for hours.
Saatlerce düşündükten sonra bana kesin bir cevap verdi.
Guys, that's a definite rally killer. Keep moving at all times. No hiding in the bathroom.
Here we are.
Hey!
You haven't as yet told me one intelligent fact about this.
Johnny, he's a man with a very definite future, Bobby.
The point is, until the cat is observed by someone, he's not in any definite state, either alive or dead.
All we told him is that there was no definite link between the killings. The fact that they took place near Sunset Boulevard at sunset.
Has spoken to Queen Wilhelmina of Holland and the President of France, but they have agreed nothing definite as yet.
and there appears now to be a definite link between the fire and this morning's bank robbery in Tres Cruces.
Held before me constantly the text of many of your lectures, to wit that no definite rules are necessary for fine writing.
You know, you gentlemen must be very comfortable in your heavy uniforms, but I feel a definite chill in the air.
This notion is not a new one, but this time it is a definite plan, which we intend to carry out.
10 days ago, a dispatch came from the Admiralty instructing Nelson in very definite terms to report in London at once.
The marks of his presence are definite as stone, and I must tell you all that I shall not proceed.
Even as a little boy, you were never comfortable with there being no leader here giving definite answers.
We're working our way toward Willard, and we'll team up with the National Guard over there, and then we'll be able to give a more definite view.
So, this is no definite prospect of marriage, no contract.
Then there's the kind that, while it has no specific plot, does paint a series of more or less definite pictures.
Kaçmak, sızmak.
Escape. The dog tried to escape from the fenced backyard.
Köpek, çitle çevrili arka bahçeden kaçmaya çalıştı.
I opened the window to let the smoke escape.
Dumanın dışarı kaçması için pencereyi açtım.
They planned to escape the noisy city for quiet countryside.
Gürültülü şehirden sakin kırsala kaçmayı planladılar.
In the hopes of capturing a fugitive from Tuesday's daring escape from Glades Prison.
There's been a surprising development in the sanctuary escape story that we told you about last week.
Well, I kind of see love as this escape for two people who don't know how to be alone, you know? Or
You keep your line until we land in Guyana, and I'll underwrite any escape you care to arrange.
Which leads me to the conclusion that they've either made good their escape or someone is very successfully hiding them.
Danielle, I told you, you can't escape your demons just by leaving home.
It's part of a general sneak attack and escape retaliation because of lack of proper command and control.
As the horrendous black beast lunged forward, escape for Arthur and his knights seemed hopeless.
No one could take your place in the event anything unfortunate should occur to you while you were trying to escape.
So all we have to do is get in, break up the wedding, steal the princess, make our escape.
Where the warping of space-time is so great that nothing can escape, not even light.
Of course, it's normally the duty of a captured soldier to attempt escape.
Perhaps, if you do win your escape, you could find our eyes.
Blaming Elliot for blowing the escape isn't gonna help us find Mr. Weenie.
Sık sık, sıklıkla.
Frequently. I frequently visit the library to study after school.
Okuldan sonra ders çalışmak için sık sık kütüphaneye giderim.
She frequently practices piano for 30 minutes every morning.
Sıklıkla her sabah 30 dakika boyunca piyano çalışır.
They frequently eat lunch together in the small cafe.
Küçük kafede sık sık birlikte öğle yemeği yerler.
He worked out at Giverny, where he was frequently.
I heard that Monet, one of the things that he used to try...
The twins who rarely visited now stop by frequently to clutter our home with garish gifts.
For as I have frequently had occasion to observe, when the stomach is empty, the spirits are low.
Well, in these custody cases, Mrs. Warner, we frequently allow the final decision to rest with the party in question.
Frequently, this form of mental disease can be traced back to the patient's childhood, to some severe emotional injury he suffered.
In cases of this kind, as I pointed out, it is frequently necessary to rely on the evidence of a solitary witness.
He travels frequently, leaving her alone in a new town.
Crystals are frequently formed and found.
He and Lady Susan are now on terms of the most particular friendship, frequently engaged in long conversations together.
But as a football player, he was frequently violent.
Story time!
Mira worked in an advanced tech company in the center of the city. Every day felt exactly the same, and she needed a small escape from the noise and stress. One evening, she heard a colleague talk about a secret roof garden on top of their office building. The concept sounded simple but magical. A quiet place above the city, with plants, soft lights, and fresh air. There were no clear signs to the garden, but there was a small, old door near the elevator. Mira decided to try it, even though she was not definite about what she would find there. She pushed the door, climbed a narrow set of stairs, and stepped out into a space full of green plants and quiet music. The air was cooler, and the city lights looked far away, like another world. In that moment, the roof garden became her favorite escape from emails, meetings, and phone calls. After that day, she went there frequently, sometimes with a book, sometimes with a cup of tea, sometimes with nothing but her thoughts. She even started to solve advanced work problems more easily while sitting among the flowers. The simple concept of a secret, quiet place changed her busy life in a gentle but powerful way.
Çete, grup.
Gang. A gang of children played quietly near the old park.
Eski parkın yanında bir grup çocuk sessizce oynuyordu.
The police asked the gang to leave the busy street.
Polis, çeteye kalabalık caddeden ayrılmalarını istedi.
My friends met a gang selling food at the corner.
Arkadaşlarım köşedeki yemek satan bir çeteyle karşılaştılar.
I would think that he's throwed in with Lucky Ned Pepper, whose gang robbed a nail hack yesterday on the Poteau River.
He is taken not to prison this time, but to a road gang, where his criminal behavior will cost him dearly.
Now, these three were mid-level ops in an Uzbeki gang, run by a fellow named Javid Rukshan.
And if you're running for mayor on a promise to clean up the streets, it doesn't hurt if you have the best gang prosecutor in the state.
The naval press gang is on its way under orders from the garrison at Dover to take every man they can lay hands upon.
The police are today hunting a gang who carried out a daring raid on a bank here in Beckworth Street last night.
Remember, gang, the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra.
The latest on the Stander gang is that Andre Stander lookalike Mr. Mark Jennings has been arrested for the third time.
The gang responsible are said to be targeting corner shops, post offices, and anywhere that has a sizable amount of cash on site.
But I will follow up on your assumption that the E2 gang are involved in some way and question them.
It is a fascist gang. Has invaded our sovereign territory. This cannot be tolerated.
Israr etmek, vurgulamak.
Insist. I insist that you try the new English exercise today.
Bugün yeni İngilizce alıştırmasını denemen konusunda ısrar ediyorum.
My teachers insist we speak only English during class time.
Öğretmenlerim ders sırasında sadece İngilizce konuşmamızda ısrar ediyorlar.
They insist on practicing every day to improve their skills.
Becerilerini geliştirmek için her gün pratik yapmaları konusunda ısrar ediyorlar.
Doesn't seem safe to me, but if you insist on resting right there, by all means... What?
You know, I would never insist on something like this, but I would feel so much better if you would bring Eddie and a couple of my guys in, you know, to help you with the job.
This is, you take the pill and you put it under your tongue, and when they come around to check up on it, you insist it wasn't in the cup.
Mr. Battlelandabout, if you will insist on bursting into my class unannounced, then I think you should prepare to...
We just wanted to have some fun.
And see to it that the innkeeper shows my luggage to the room, and I insist that you take your first 4 days' wages...
But every time I try to say something, you just talk over me and you insist that you're right, and it always has to be your way.
Listen, I must insist that nobody touch the body or disturb anything around it.
Police?
Not a dollop of ordinary sense, but that thick stubbornness that'll lead him to insist on the impossible.
In that case, I must insist that Felix go with you on your little outings at all times.
Mother!
Truly, if I insist on having someone with your brains and a fresh pair of eyes, there's a life at stake here, officer.
This may seem unchivalrous, Henry, but I must insist you do not keep this appointment.
You must write to your husband and insist he send her back to whatever horrid little place she came from. You must write to your husband and insist he send her back to whatever horrid little place she came from.
However, I did insist that we not go forward without your blessing, because we're best friends.
Karışım, bileşim.
Mixture. The soup is a warm mixture of herbs and vegetables.
Çorba, otlar ve sebzelerden oluşan sıcak bir karışımdır.
She made a mixture of flour, sugar, and butter.
Un, şeker ve tereyağından bir karışım hazırladı.
A mixture of excited children waited for the teacher.
Heyecanlı çocuklardan oluşan bir karışım öğretmeni bekliyordu.
We slipped them a mixture of some fairly innocuous real stuff and some absolute rubbish.
Just like a cast on a broken limb, this mixture of plaster and burlap should hold everything together.
And in the pan I have a mixture of sugar, butter, orange juice, and grated orange peel.
Just remember to put more sugar than salt into the mixture and make sure it boils completely so the crystals don't clog up the intravenous contractions.
For the final setting of the mixture, add hydrogen 6,2.
History has always treated men of this sort with an incredible mixture of admiration and revulsion.
Your face is the mixture of beauty and tragedy, like Vasily Perov painting.
Somehow with that last variation of the ivy mixture, we got lucky and he replaced that enzyme.
It's an old family recipe, taking a mixture of fermented corn, sugar, yeast, and water.
I think it's more the mixture of 3 glasses of wine and the alcohol-infused dessert.
You know, a mixture of performance and drawings, but the work to be ongoing throughout the time I'm there.
It's quite a mixture. Lithuanian, Scotch-Irish, French, and American Indian.
The mixture had on me, except to say that I believe that what I had inadvertently created was perhaps...
Önceki, önceden.
Prior. Please read the prior instructions before you start your work.
İşe başlamadan önce lütfen önceki talimatları okuyun.
They had a prior meeting to discuss the project plan.
Proje planını görüşmek için önceden bir toplantı yapmışlardı.
She checked her prior notes to remember the main points.
Ana noktaları hatırlamak için önceki notlarına göz attı.
Prior to this feeling, were you comfortable with your physical contact with Jen?
Do you think as a juror, you would be able to set aside any prior opinion you might hold about the savings and loan industry?
It's hardly surprising there's no record of a Ruby Jetson prior to her first Neptune utility bill.
They want you to hear about the 20 death threats this year alone that the Archbishop received prior to his death.
In the prior 2 years, but you are delusional if you think you can survive without me.
Ward of the Surats, prior to daggering the Secretary of State and his kin.
Yes.
If one had asked Harold, he would have said that this particular Wednesday was exactly like all the Wednesdays prior.
Coroner, did you conclude that violence had been done to Miss Tripp prior to her death by drowning?
So 13 have narrowed it down to 31 people who had prior knowledge of your itinerary on the day of the attack and of Miller's transfer.
Including, say, prior criminal history, which I don't have, or whether the defendant played a minor role, which I certainly did not.
And have you ever heard a gun fired prior to the night in question?
Görünür, belli.
Visible. The mountain was visible above the clouds this morning.
Bu sabah dağ bulutların üzerinde görünür haldeydi.
Her joy was visible when she opened the small letter.
Küçük mektubu açınca sevinci hemen görünür oldu.
Make the text visible on the screen for every student.
Her öğrencinin ekranında metni görünür hale getirin.
B. Natural change or mutation visible in human nature or in human affairs.
People were closely wedged together and lying on top of each other so that only their heads were visible.
There is no security for the wicked because there are no visible signs of death at hand.
American Arabs are a vulnerable, visible population, and they have no power.
I kind of feel like you would have more visible stubble.
to ferry wounded souls across the river of dread until the point where hope is dimly visible.
We're talking about a fella, right, with no visible source of income, who paid tax on £2 million last year.
But the absence of employment means a profession, any visible prospects.
Jesus said, turn your heart away from things visible and turn yourself to things invisible.
Pay rent, pay mall bail, pay Con Ed, buy clothes, furniture, with no visible means of income.
We'll set her talking, and then I'll take her down first in Bell's visible speech, and then in broad Romic.
Oh, and Isabella, why don't we make sure that Miss Kim gets an outfit that's not visible from space?
If it is not visible on the body, it will be beneath the hair.
I hereby order that all Jews in the Warsaw district will wear visible emblems when out of doors.
On a cold Friday night, a small gang met under the old bridge near the river. They were all in their early 20s and wore dark clothes to stay less visible on the street. Lena, the quietest member, carried a strange mixture of fear and excitement in her heart. She had joined the gang 2 months earlier, after losing her job at a small cafe. That night, their leader Mark insisted that they should break into an empty shop nearby. He insisted again and again, saying it was easy money and there was no real danger. But Lena remembered the warning from her prior boss, who told her crime always brings more problems. She looked at the dark shop. Only one weak light was visible through the dusty window. Her hands started to shake, and the mixture of fear and excitement slowly changed into clear fear. "I'm not doing this," Lena said, her voice low but firm, surprising the whole gang. Mark laughed, but she insisted that she was serious and turned away from the shop. For a moment, the street was silent, and their fear became visible on every face. Then another member, Jonas, quietly followed her, and soon half of the gang walked into the night with Lena. As they left the bridge, Lena felt a new mixture of relief and hope growing inside her.
If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Let us keep creating something beautiful.